solution, two solutions. One, the immediate solution so that our kids aren't immediately impacted by what's going on so that they can finish the school year successfully. And the second, the long-term settlement so that this doesn't come up in another 10 or 20 years. We really need this to be settled before it affects all the other kids and all the other schools in our city, which is a real potential problem.
That's right.
Conversation today because two powerful groups of adults, the district and the BTF, cannot find a solution to a labor dispute that does not require the middle of the school year being disrupted for hundreds of Buffalo Public School students. Our students started the school year with the expectations that they would have the teachers and the classes they need the whole school year, not for part of the school year. It is now expected that the students at City Honors give up their music program, give up their teachers, give up classes, basically give up the stability and consistency that they deserve and need to learn. Transferring teachers in the middle of the school year makes no sense. This will only create chaos, not only at City Honors, but in all Buffalo Public Schools as well. This negative ripple effect will be felt district-wide. Teachers' aides have already been pulled from schools where they are needed placed at City Honors to perform the non-teaching duties. So that means we have vacancies in city schools that have no teachers' aides, and those teachers are still doing the non-teaching duties. If the 5.5 teacher transfers were to go through, teachers in other Buffalo schools could lose their placement, causing multiple students to lose their teachers as well in the middle of the school year. Relationships between teachers and students that have been fostered from the beginning of the year just disintegrate. We acknowledge that the BTF won their grievance. That is not in question. What is in question is why in the middle of the school year? BTF, why do you think it is a good idea to make these changes in the middle of the school year? Give the students until the end of June to put your win into effect.
That's right.
Give everyone time to find a solution that works best for all parties, especially for our students.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Spell your name and give us your title.
Kelly Hall, Kellyhall. I'm Chair of Transportation for DPCC and Sergeant at Arms for DPCC as well.
I speak today as one parent of whose children are affected by this mass between the BTF and the BPS. The problem that we're facing now is one that doesn't belong just to City Honors. This problem is confronting the entire district because it is about two bodies with a responsibility to our children, the Buffalo Teachers Federation and the Buffalo School Administration, and they have not been able to work effectively together. If these two do not learn to cooperate, then the children, all of the children in the Buffalo district will eventually pay the price.
All the children, that's right. Come on, John.
As a parent, I've made many calls and sent many letters to both sides involved in this impasse, imploring each side to do their part to seek resolution. Today, I'm asking the BTF to take the lead. Taking the lead does not mean that the BTF bears the full responsibility. The parents met with Mr. Remore last week, and he was clear in his sincere desire to help prevent the teacher loss that none of us wants. Today, I ask him to take a step that he can take to make this happen. As a parent, I will continue to encourage the BPS to do their part as well. Both sides can be agents in a successful compromise. This is an amazing time for Buffalo, when every day we're showing that our city is capable of great things. Let the BTF and the BPS show this too. Do a great thing. Do the right thing. Come together and work it out.
Hello, my name is Drew Kahn, K-A-H-N. I'm a professor at Buffalo State College, and I've been an educator for over 3 decades. And I do have to tell you that as a teacher and as a parent of a City Honors student, we know that talk can be cheap, that action speaks much louder than words.
That's right. That's right.
That is illustrated here and time again, that the parents and the community continues to stand up because we are not going away.
That's right. We're not going away. Yes, sir.
We are going to stay here until this is resolved. I think it's unusual, or maybe poignant, that this morning students at Parkland High School, at a high school in Parkland, where an atrocity happened last week, modeled for the rest of the country what it means to be collaborative, communal, and communicative, and healing in a time of great despair.
That's right. That's right.
Certainly, their issues and their stakes are much larger than ours. But what are those students doing? They are modeling for us proper behavior. We ask the BTF and Buffalo Public Schools to stop talking and model collaborative, compromising behavior.
That's right.
We also understand that compromise, the definition of compromise is both sides walk away a little disappointed. So we have a question for BTF and BPS. Are you willing to compromise? Are you willing to walk away a little disappointed because it's the right thing to do for our students, it's the right thing to do for the teachers, it's the right thing to do for Buffalo. And if in fact, if in fact Buffalo is the city of good neighbors, action talks, and talk is cheap. Compromise, compromise, compromise. Thank you.
Duncan Kirkwood. I'm the external advocate with the DPCC. First, I want to say, who's a parent? Who's a parent here? Now, who's a parent of City Honors? Who got kids in City Honors? I want you to see, thank you all, how personal it is. But I want to talk in kind of the larger issue. But first, I want to say, this is not an attack on parents. We're not here because parents chose City Honors. In fact, we're happy parents have done what they think is the best thing for their kids and put them in a world-class school. Our hope is that every school in BPS will become a world-class school like City Honors. But we can't get there if we're continuing to move backwards to a place and a time where we have winners and losers in our school system, right? We can't take away from the schools that have the most needs to give to the school that has the most resources, that has the most success, that has the most chances for their kids to be successful. We're going to give them more and take away from those who need more. And so we really don't want to go back to a place where we have to have these teachers win and these teachers lose, where parents are at fault and kids are at fault, or these, we don't want to go back to that. We're finally in a time in Buffalo where our school system is moving forward together.
Moving in the right direction. Let's keep it
we got some dynamic leadership. Parents are coming together. Teachers are coming together. Students are speaking out. The community is coming together around these schools for all our kids, like the gentleman said, for our kids. And we're not going backwards. We're here at BTF because we want them to know that their tactics around these last few issues we've seen in the media, we don't agree with. And we're not going to be silent. We felt like it was our duty as parents to not be silent while they continue to use these old type of tactics of division and distraction.
Not going anywhere.
So parents have committed. They've committed their time and their energy. They've committed their resources. We're going to continue to stand strong while we move forward in this district, and we won't allow our leaders of these different organizations and unions to take us backwards to a place where we have to have winners and losers in our district. Our kids need to win and our families need to win, and we're not going away.
Stop playing games. Stop playing games.
And so the most important message, come on over, Tawana. The most important message we want to say today is that there's never been a better time to be a parent or a student in Buffalo Public Schools. Our district has one of the highest graduation rates we've ever had. We're moving in the right direction. We have 26 schools in good standing, more schools in good standing than we ever had. We see our district has turned a corner. We see we are working together collectively, collaboratively. Everything that we need to do for children is moving in the right direction. A lot of that is because of the leadership that's coming from the district, the leadership that's coming from the board, the work of teachers in the classroom, the work of students, most importantly, in the classroom. So now here we are in a situation where in the beginning of this school year, we had a plan that was working. We had the teachers, we had the orchestra, the band, we had everything that was moving in the right direction. We, in the middle of the school year, because of a settlement from a court outside the school, we are going to disrupt it, and we are simply saying to the union president, we are saying to the Board of Education, to the district, whatever y'all have to work that out at the end of the school year.
Compromise.
now in the middle of the school year is just not the time to do it. We are adults. It's possible that we can come up with a win-win situation. We had a teacher's contract that did not get settled for 12 years. Until the superintendent and the BTF president, they went through all the courts and all the grievances, all the different things. But at the end of the day, it was settled because two people sat down at the table and came up with a solution.
Compromise.
In this particular case, the same thing can happen. They can sit down at the table because the students who have nothing to do with this are the only ones that are going to be impacted by it.
You're right.
The teachers are going to continue to have their jobs. The administrators are going to continue to have their jobs. Teachers, students are going to end up with larger class sizes, less teachers. We simply cannot stand by quietly while adults make decisions that hurt children.
It's our system. It's our school.
So we're calling on the goodwill of the teachers union, the goodwill of the Board of Education to make a decision today, to make a decision now, to say that we will come up with something that allows us to end the year like we began the year, and we will work this out without having children suffer.
Compromise.
Thank you.
Model it for the students.
You want to comment? We would love to have you compromise.
Some documents that we have handed out to some of the parents, all the policies that we have seen and that we made back and forth, the arbitration decision, everything, just so that you have copies of it. So every document's there.
All right, we make sure everybody get it.
Yeah. Basically, I agree with a lot of what Sam has said.
Yes.
I agree.
That's right. Good job.
What we're doing right now is, just so that we're clear, the district agreed that the teachers didn't have to do the duties, and arbiter found that the teachers didn't have the duties. Whether you like it or not, that's what the courts held, and that's what the law says. But the thing is that just remember now, who was the one that decided to take the teachers out of the schools? It wasn't the BTF.
This is pointing fingers.
We're not interested. Not interested in the sides. Compromise. Compromise.
You know something? If this is the way that that somebody speaks, that people get interrupted. Then,
We don't
I don't have anything else.
Well, we
to
don't got
say
no problem.
Okay.
We don't have no problem with that.
That's okay.
We don't.
You have such
That
good
bodes
manners.
well for the compromise. We look forward to the compromise.
Right.
You serve students.
Compromise!
This is not about whether the BTF won the lawsuit or not. We know that. But at the end of the day, it's simply not fair. It's simply not fair, and the BTF knows it's not fair. They want a decision for just the teachers at City Honors. Every other teacher in the school district has to do non-teaching duties. We know the arguments on both sides. At this point, we're not taking sides. We're simply saying that we're on the side of the children.
One side, students.
And we need Phil Woolmore to get back to the table. We know the district is willing to come to the table. We need them to come to the table. We've set up a meeting next Thursday, March 8th, 5 o'clock at the Buffalo Irish Center, where we're willing to, as parents, host the table with both sides to come. We're also asking our state legislators, we're asking our mayor, we're asking our city legislators, we're asking anybody who care about our children to join us in calling on the district and the teachers union to come to this table and come up with a solution. Because you're not going to come up with a solution in the court. You're not going to come up with a solution taking sides. You have to come to a table. So if you're not willing to create a table, we as parent leaders will create a table and we will push and push and push. And we will be somewhere every day until then pushing to make sure this don't happen to our children.
We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Compromise.
What's your take on the latest effort to get the judge in the case to recuse himself because he has a connection to City Honors? That dispute, it seems like, needs to be settled first before any other actions.
Right. So we know the teachers won't be moved before that decision is made. We know that the teachers won't be moved before they decide on whether the judge recuses himself or not. But again, we're not preoccupied with the decision that's being made by the court. We're happy that it's preventing the teachers from being moved right now. But right now, what we're looking for is the adults, in this particular case, Phil Woolmore, the superintendent, the Board of Education, to come to the table and make an agreement that protects our children. So whatever the judge decides, wonderful, that's part of their process. But again, we're looking for a win-win. For us, it's win-win or no deal.
Man up, stand up for the children.
I just want to echo to your question. We're not here fighting for one side or another. We have decided as parents that we're here for kids. And so all we're asking is that the people who can make the decisions, who have the ability to make the changes or the ability to solve the problem, take the responsibility to solve the problem for our kids. Right now, immediately, so that there's no harm done to the students who go to this school or the students that go to any other school in this district.
That's right.
That's all we're saying.
That's what we.
That's all we're saying.
And so while I appreciate what's going on legally, we know this stuff drags out. The grievance was filed that we're dealing with was filed in 2010. So who knows how long these other things can take? And we don't want to wait. Our kids cannot wait. The people who have the power to make the decision now to hold children harmless, to get to the teachers, they can complete the year doing their duties. They've been doing them since 2010. These aides that are in the building doing the duties could be in other schools where there are currently vacancies, where those kids and those teachers need those aides.
That's right. That's exactly.
We're asking, please, the people who have the power, we understand the legals, what the situation is and where it currently stands, but we're still just asking, please, while you go through the legal process, pull our kids out of it, because they're caught in the middle.
If I can make one more point, Phil just came out and gave us this file full of paperwork, and we understand it. We understand all the stuff that goes back and forth, but to a certain degree, we didn't get where we are at right now in terms of the district doing better than a half because we did business as usual. We got there because we stopped focusing on this and started focusing on talking to each other, dealing with each other as adults and human beings, and focusing on the best interests of children.
Modeling for the kids.
And we should be an example for how to solve problems. We're in a situation now where we're just dealing with, different groups trying to bully each other. And with bullyism, that's not good no matter where you see it. Whoever got the most power is going to force their will on the other person until they submit. You know what I'm saying? So that just don't work, because the other side gets mad and they try to counter and go back and forth. Our kids cannot get caught in the middle of that. So we're here, we're appealing to the parties that be, and to Phil Rumor, we're not going to go away. To the Buffalo School Superintendent Board of Education, we are going to continuously be here as parents. We're going to have our children. We're going to be doing it during the school day, after the school day. We're going to continue till we get a result. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.